Many of the northern counties, at least 10 northern counties, are insistent that they need to secede from the rest of the state and become North Colorado. And the reason that they are doing this is because they have had enough of the liberal commie conspiracy to regulate and cut back on coal and big oil. One of the law, yes, I know. They are sick and tired of environmentalists and all these new environmental welfare legislative efforts that legislators are trying to pass in the state. One of the laws that one of the representatives of the movement say, quote, broke the camel's back, requires that rural energy cooperatives have to get 20% of their energy from renewable resources by the year 2020.
My God, the horror.
I know, the horror. And the current goal right now under law is 10%, but they want legislators, the governor has signed the bill into law increasing it to 20% by 2020. So possibly we would have 51 states soon if they get their way.
That's stupid.
But,
why are they being stupid?
Yeah, there are issues with their movement and what they're trying to do, including the fact that there aren't really enough people to merit North Colorado being its own state.
Its own township, maybe.
Maybe its own township. My God. Why don't they just move to Alabama? They would fit in well there.
The organizers who passed the bill to regulate oil and gas are trying to address the fast increasing number of both well and oil spills and the contaminations in Colorado over the last several years. So pollution has gone up, the number of spills and accidents have gone up, and Colorado is facing more and more things like drought and forest fires. And,
yes,
you know,
that's exactly what I wanted to get into. Remember, we covered a story on forest fires, on how climate change. Well, you've got all this oil and gas that they're using. Obviously, we've been doing this drill baby drill thing for years now. Oil exports are up. China's burning more coal. We're using a lot more fossil fuel energy, and that's just making climate change worse. And that's contributing to the wildfires in Colorado, the ones that were burning around the area of Colorado Springs.
Yes,
and people who are against the movement to become a 51st state are saying that they want to prevent this from happening because they don't want any part of the fracking or the continued rise in dependence on oil and coal that they've been seeing, you know, recently. And dividing the state in half isn't going to solve the problem for them because you can't compartmentalize a state. Whatever happens in the environment in one area will spread and start to negatively affect the rest.
It's not as if wildfires look at a state line and go, oop, no, South Colorado can't do it.
Right, and like if the river becomes polluted, then many miles down the river it's still going to be polluted. So you can't close off the north and south part of the state and just, you know, it would be nice if we could just say, okay, you crazy nutballs, go to your half of the state and screw your environment over and destroy your your lands and then, you know, see how that goes, because the south part of the state would get destroyed as well.
What is with all of these conservative idiots and their ideas at secession? Why?
The last state to secede from the Union was West Virginia in 1863.
And that didn't you say that actually seceded from Virginia? Not from the Union.
Yes, West Virginia seceded from Virginia and became its own state in 1863.
I tell you, man, people, these people are like, they wave their American flags right next to, ironically, their Confederate flags, which is, like I said, irony right there, and they think that they're incredibly patriotic. That is a flag. I will say the Confederate flag is a flag of treason. You cannot get more treasonous than trying to leave your country, trying to secede from your country.
Yeah, I understand. It's extremely unpatriotic at best. And how unpatriotic is it to be okay with polluting your own land, with stripping the earth itself of all its natural precious resources and destroying it in the process of getting to it?
What was that one? What was that one congressman that said something about the best thing about the earth is that you can poke holes in it and oil comes out?
I know, just completely insensitive. There's this absolute disconnection, um, thinking that none of it's actually going to have any real effect. None of it's going to hurt me, harm me. But in fact, we're already experiencing the effects of the negative effects of what we're doing to the environment. The temperatures are rising, the sea levels are rising, the polar ice caps are melting.
What good is America if you can't live in it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a patriot. I love my country. It's my right to fuck it up. I mean, that's exactly what it is.
That's kind of the mindset that we're dealing with these people.
I mean, these are the people Charles Darwin would bring aside and say, "Come with me."
Right, and it's like it's the religious kind of mindset wherein God
gave me America, money, and I'm gonna take all God's gifts and I'm gonna use them. Goddamn.
Yeah, Jesus is coming back in 20 years.
Yeah, and that's another thing. People in that mindset, like the religious right-wing Republicans, they think that everything's okay because they all have their justifications for it. If God didn't want us to use it, He wouldn't have put it here. The Bible says that everything is supposed to be used for our benefit.
Guess what? God gave us the sun.
And it mitigates.
It's 63 freaking million Americans. What?
And that's the mindset that enables them to mitigate all sense of responsibility from themselves. And they even say, like, well, it doesn't matter because the end of the world is coming soon anyway, or it doesn't matter because we're all going to die anyway. And
I mean, where's the rapture going to be? Between Starbucks and the Chevy dealership? I mean, that's...
No, I'm never going to understand this disconnect that they say that, well, God put everything here for us to use. Well, fine, God put the sun here for you to use, too. And
they're worried about jobs.
Free energy right there. The
Absolutely.
sun. And they're totally
biggest energy source
solar.
We have access to. We could all have free, renewable, clean energy, all of us, forever and all time. But we're not going to do it because big corporations don't think it's profitable enough, and the little guy has been fooled into thinking that if we do that, then it's going to take all their, blue-collar jobs away and all their coal mining jobs away and oil rigging jobs away.
It might actually replace them with better jobs.
And replace them with solar panel engineering, solar panel installation. You have to build these things. You have to install them. There's hundreds of thousands of jobs.
To convince these people it's also a myth, too. It's insane. It's like global warming's a myth, but, we all came from Adam and Eve.
It's a short-term mentality when it comes to a lot of this. They're like, well, I'm worried about my jobs now. Yeah, but you realize the oil's going to run out, the coal is going to run out. You're eventually going to lose it anyway. But no, we're not going to lose it now. That's for the future. We would rather screw over the future to save today. And you also get that mindset, that mentality from the oil companies as well.
Good for it's Colorado. I mean, good for the people of Colorado. They legalized marijuana for medical and recreational use. They're passing legislation to limit, at least have 20% renewable energy. That way they don't have to feel bad when they turn on their grow lamps.
Yep.
And here's the thing. If you hate the laws in Colorado, move away from Colorado. There are still plenty of very conservative red states that would love
I know a shitload of people moving there.
That's true. If all these people are so upset about the laws and things taking place in Colorado, you're right. The borders are open. You can move to another state. Move to North Dakota. That's an extremely conservative state.
Texas is
not Alabama or Mississippi or Texas.
Yeah, any of those. In fact, most of the states in this union are out of their damn mind.
Don't ruin our Colorado. Don't kill our buzz.
Right. And hopefully, if they do move, that will make Colorado an even more liberal and progressive state to live in.
That would be great.